a pioneer member and became a pioneer member and executive of Toastmasters Club, and later serves as the third president of the club between 2015 and 2016. And he has several Toastmasters awards. And to his credit, Toastmaster Ibrahim Fatoyinbo is enchanted with wisdom of helping people harness their potential and be a better person through training and management consulting company called iParadigm Consult. And Toastmaster Ibrahim Fatoyinbo is an alumnus of Faith Foundation Business School and a member of Nigeria Institute of Public Relations, NIPR. Interestingly, he is happily married with kids. So, Toastmaster Ibrahim Fatoyinbo is resourceful Toastmaster and our trainer for today. And as you all know, if we are not speaking as Toastmasters, one of the rules is that we should ensure our mics are muted. And if we want to speak, let us endeavor to use the raise our hands through the actions we have on our Zoom platform. Also, we should make sure our background is also very non-noisy. Our background is quiet as much as possible. So without wasting our time, I would like to invite our trainer for today to please have the virtual lecture. Toastmaster Ibrahim Fatoyinbo.
All right, thank you most graciously, Toastmaster Shukura. Thank you very much. And I also like to use this medium to appreciate and congratulate our delectable president on this wonderful day. Happy birthday and wishing you more prosperous years. Well, without further ado, I am privileged to be taking this topic on how members of Toastmasters can take roles and handle it like a professional that we have. Well, to start with, the objective of the training is this training session is prepared for club members, not to agree, because that's the trending word now. So not to agree for anybody to intimidate them as a role player. So hence, this session will help fortify members with required knowledge on effective role play, right? Members are expected to learn how to discharge their role as a member of Toastmasters International Club. And I have stratified the training content to just 4 segments. We have the introductory part, I have the various roles listed, and we have roles and responsibility with creativity, and we have the conclusion. So it won't take much of our time. So the success of a club meeting depends on participants. And I'm sure that every meeting that we have held is very important. We have a very effective role players. Without the role players, there's going to be problem, and we won't be able to achieve the success that we've anticipated from the beginning of the meeting. Now, we have about 8 different roles or thereabout, and I'm going to be highlighting them. The first one, we have the R counter, or you call them R master, like AH counter, R counter, R master. We have the general evaluator. We have the table topics masters. We have the timer, and in brackets, I have a vote counter role, because the timekeeper also double up as the person, as the INEC of the day. So we have the Toastmaster of the day as another role. We have the grammarian. We have the listening evaluator. We have the speaker, and we have the evaluator. I'd like to take that again. We have the R counter or R master, and also we have the general evaluator. We have the table topics master. We have the timer. We have the Toastmasters of the day. We have the grammarian. We have the listening evaluator, speaker, and evaluator. Now, let's delve into the nitty-gritty of their roles and responsibilities. Let's talk about the R counter. A lot of us, we are familiar with R counter, and most people like to take the role because it seems very easy. But there are certain technicalities that we need to watch out for when taking the role of R counter or R master. Here are the responsibilities. So here you said to watch out for words that a guest or a speaker uses frequently during presentation that in turn reduces the quality of their speech. Words like and repeatedly, but repeatedly, like etc, and sounds like eh, used as pause fillers. As a speaker, it is very important to avoid these fillers. And when you are playing this role as a counter, it's very expedient for you to make note of numbers of inappropriate pauses or fillers words for each attendee. So what we are saying here is that you must be very attentive, because one of the things about Toastmasters Club is that you can't be an effective speaker if you are not effective listener, all right? So that's why when you play the role of our counter, you must give it your best to listen attentively, to watch out for key things. So I have mentioned words that you repeated, like as in, I'll still mention some other things. And we have fillers. For example, we have fillers like when you see a speaker, when a speaker starts speaking and using you will never take such speakers seriously, because you've already peeped into their mind believing that whatever they want to say, it's not true, or they are guessing whatever they want to say. And that's why, as a professional speaker, it's very important we do away from pause fillers. Also, if there is a specific word used by any member, it's very important you call the attention of the member to it. For example, in Nigeria, is a rich man syndrome to be saying, when you watch TV programs, you listen to radio programs, you hear people speak and they start saying, as in, all they are called fillers in communication, because all your as in, meaning that there are words that are missing that you can't recall, but what you can use just to cover up in the interim is to use, and you see them consistently make use of it. When they are delivering a speech of 5 minutes, they can use, more than 10 times, or as in, when I'm saying, so those words are things that our counter will pay attention to and will be taking note. And while taking note, is you need to know the name of the speaker. For example, Ibrahim Fatoyinbo is presenting a speech, you write his name and you listen attentively for you to be able to take note to say that, okay, you make use of these fillers and let them know. Don't just say you use as in, you must let them know that you were consistently using and, or, like, just to call the attention of the speaker to it. Because I've seen over time, when I attend several meetings, you just hear people say 2 times, 7 times. It's beyond that. You must be able to call their attention to say that you use these fillers at this point, specifically you are using, and was repeatedly, constantly used. So you must break it down. It's not that you just say, and this is just for the benefit of new person joining. A lot of people will attend club and you'll just see somebody stood up and say they call themselves the accountant, and all they can just take is that as in, it's more than that. So you must, because the role you are playing is to help the speaker to stop using such words that will reduce the quality of their speech. So if no member makes use of pause filler, ensure you appreciate such speaker. So I've seen over time that after saying that so person used 4 times, this one used 3 times. But it's important for you to also appreciate any speaker or guest, maybe during table topics or prepared speech, to say, oh, Mr. Tope, I appreciate your presentation. I listened to you and you didn't make use of fillers. Please, let's appreciate this person. So it's important. When they are being appreciated, they'll be more conscious of what they are saying. So, and it's very important when you are giving your report as a counter, you just have 1 to 2 minutes. It must be brief and concise. You should not take too much time explaining and but you must be conscious of time. In a nutshell, our counter role is a very important role, because when they pay attention to each speakers, they help them avoid things, words, fillers, or pauses that could reduce the quality of their speeches. So that is the first role, the our counter or our master. So next time you are playing the role, pay keen attention to those things. Let's talk about the general evaluator. General evaluator role is another very interesting role at Toastmasters meeting. And the responsibility is to watch the whole meeting and provide feedback on the activities in order to strengthen the quality of the meeting. The general evaluator is responsible to make sure the evaluation team, that's the evaluator, the R counter, the grammarian, and the timer, are on point and prepared for the meeting. The general evaluator is giving feedback to the Toastmaster of the day on how they ran the meeting. Here, over time, I've seen that role players and the general evaluators don't have meeting before the meeting, before the proper Toastmasters meeting. It is very important you bring your team together, brief them what you intend achieving, because you are the leader, you are the general evaluator. Tell them that, okay, you have to, the timer, you have to be strategically positioned. You have to brief them because they are your team mates that you are working towards the success of the meeting, all right? Therefore, it is totally expedient for you to always have meetings, bring them together, discuss before delving into the meeting. So in summation, answer the following question as the general evaluator at the end of the meeting. What went wrong during the meeting? What are the things you observe? For example, maybe there are movements, or people are just standing up while there's a speech going on. Maybe the light went off, something. You just have to observe what went wrong. It's not like you must find fault by fire by force, no. But you must be observant to know what went wrong during the meeting, what could be done differently to make the meeting more effective, all right? You need to watch out for the first one, what went wrong during the meeting. The second thing is what could be done differently to make the meeting more effective. And the third one is, did those members performing a functional role effectively explain and execute each role? Here, your R counter, the timekeeper, the what's it called, evaluator, the speakers, you must be able to capture if everyone discharged their role effectively. And before you can play the role of a general evaluator, you must have acquainted yourself with the role of a timer, the role of the R counter or R master, table topics master, the grammarian. So because if you don't have the background knowledge of those roles, you can't evaluate them. It's just going to be like the king don't do wrong, right? So it's very expedient for you. So when you are taking up a role of a general evaluator, be sure that you have played the role of the timer. Be sure that you have played the role of the R counter. Be sure that you have played the role of the grammarian, so that when you are giving your feedback, it's going to be more robust and more detailed. And lastly, how did the evaluators perform? Is also very important for the general evaluator to evaluate those members who evaluated prepared speeches or table topic speeches. So you must also commend them, because at the end of every prepared speech evaluation, we are expected to vote for the best evaluator. Hence, it is the role of the general evaluator at the end to give evaluation to the evaluator. And that's why at Toastmasters meeting, evaluation is the breakfast of champion. You must always get evaluation, meaning feedback is very important. So general evaluator plays a very crucial role, overseeing all the activities of members and role players, specifically the evaluator, the R counter, the grammarian, the Toastmaster of the day. So it is very important for the general evaluator to do that. And while concluding or while giving evaluation, it's important for the general evaluator to pay attention to the following as he or she makes a summation. What went wrong during the meeting? What could be done differently to make the meeting more effective? Did those members performing a functionary role effectively explain, let's get that, explain and execute each role successfully? Because when the general evaluator beckons or calls the grammarian to come out, the general evaluator starts the work of the general evaluator starts immediately, because you must be able to evaluate how the timer, the grammarian, the accountant were able to explicitly explain their roles to the member, right? So it is important you pay attention to that as a general evaluator. So how do the evaluator performs? So you must also evaluate the evaluators of prepared speeches. Let's talk about the table topics master. Table topic master is another crucial role during Toastmasters meeting. And what is the role of the table topics master? To lead a spirited and fast-paced session that requires participating members to speak for 1 to 2 minutes on a selected topic. There are 2 major purposes for the table topics session. Number 1, promote the improvement of impromptu speaking and ensure that as many people at the meeting as possible participate. Is especially important for those who do not have a scheduled speaking, evaluation, a functionary role during the meeting. Here, most times the table topic master must be able to prepare topics in line with the theme of the day. Table topic masters, when you are preparing for your role, you must be able to carve out topics that will be given out to guests and members in line with the theme of the day, all right? So when that is done, you can have about 5 questions written down. And it is important as a table topic masters to establish the rule of the session, letting them know that you are to speak for 1 to 2 minutes, and this grace, we have the grace of 30 seconds. Mind you, the timer too would have mentioned while introducing his or her role. But it is also important for the table topic master to re-establish the rules that guides the table topic session. And most times, it is not exclusively for guests alone to participate at table topics table topics session. A paying member or bona fide member can also participate. And that's why I said that if you don't have a prepared speech, you are not playing any other role, but you don't just want to come to the club and leave like that. We just want to speak. So it's going to help you to improve your impromptu speaking dexterity, right? So having said that, it's also important when you call them, give them the topic, and you don't leave the lectern without exchanging that handshake, because I've seen a lot of people, they can just leave the lectern. When you call a particular person, you just leave. However, there's also technicalities to when it comes to table topics session. I have seen situations where people can't even identify members. You know, we have a kind of veteran guest, and we have some people who are members but don't attend meeting regularly. If by adventure they attend meeting, you will just say, okay, you just want to come. But sometimes when you come early enough, you'll be able to spot the guest, or maybe a member. It's good for you to get their names. You can just introduce yourself like, good afternoon, my name is Toastmasters. Can I know your name? Are you a guest or so? Oh, I'm a guest. Oh, what's your name? You got their name. Can just move to another person. So you've been able to get their name. So by the time you are on the lectern and you want to start calling people, it's not by saying the girl in on shirt, red shirt, this top, that one. You know, but when you just say, intending Toastmaster Bukola, the person looks surprised, like, oh, how do you get my name? You connect more. The person will smile, will walk majestically, hopefully, to the stage or towards the lectern, and you present the topic and you leave the lectern. And before you leave, you've already established the rule. So it's going to be a tautology to keep telling the speaker, again. So you just extend pleasantry, handshake, and you leave the stage for such person. But in rare cases, sometimes we know at Toastmasters meeting, maybe the table topic master did not arrive on time. You just quickly have emergency, just pick this person, and that's why we are always. But the standard is very important for you to at least liaise with, maybe know that you want to get 4 persons. It's not, you can't get to the lectern and be guessing that should I call 4, should I call 3? Know that it's 5 persons you want to call. It is 3 persons you want to call because of time. And that is why you will realize that a lot of meetings, when we say we are closing by 1, you close by maybe 1:30, it is not done. As a Toastmaster, as a speaker, you must learn to keep to time. And those role players play crucial role to help the club to achieve that time schedule to start and to finish. So in a nutshell, a table topic masters help members to improve their impromptu speaking and to make them participate. Let's go to the timer. The timer is another very, very important role to play. But let me start with this. Oftentimes, I've seen timer carried away with a very wonderful speeches that they are carried away that they can't even check the time. Before they can just wake up, they'll just, if you know what I mean. So they are carried away. When they see wonderful speeches, they are just into the speaker. They've forgotten their roles. So now, what is the role of a timekeeper, as its name implies? To keep the time for various speeches and speaking functions during the meeting, and to keep track of actual time taken. Our goal as a Toastmaster is to, and within the allotted time, as often as possible. We must always work within the allotted time. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and guests, it is a catastrophe as a speaker when you speak outside and they are dragging microphone from you. That means you don't keep to time. And that's why it's very important we train ourselves to always speak within the allotted time. Time when we are speaking is spiritual. When you start speaking, you just be entering different realm and it's going to be titillating you. You just want to ventilate more content to your audience, but be conscious of time. So the timer, you must arrive early. The timer must arrive early and set up the timing equipment. Make sure you understand how to operate the stopwatch. It is important you understand how to operate the stopwatch and any other signaling devices to be used. Yes, we use props, we have the card. And it's very, very important for the timer to sit in a strategic position. It's not very good for a timekeeper to be sitting at the back, maybe in a particular corner, and you say you are waving. It's wrong. You must strategically waited in a position whereby the speakers will be able to maintain eye contact and see you while they are presenting their speeches. Because it's going to be very unfair on the part of the speaker when the speaker is unable to see you and such speaker is disqualified to be voted for. The other thing is verify in advance the correct time for the formal speeches. Check with the Toastmaster and or with individual speakers. Before, it is important for you to pay attention to a speech. So you must know, liaise with the speaker for your prepared speech. How many minutes are you using? Is it 4 to 6 minutes? Is it 6 to 10 minutes? What is the extra? You must be aware, you must be sure. It's not when you get there that you will start saying that, I'm not sure of the timing, right? You must acquaint yourself. How many speakers are we having? 4 speakers. Is the speaker around? Let me see your manual. How many minutes are you using to speak? Toastmaster Fatoyinbo Ibrahim, you are speaking between 4 to 6 minutes. So when you are timing, you are not interjecting. You are aware already. So it's important you know that. So reviewing the timing if needed. So table topics, 1 minute minimum, you show the green card. 1 minute, 30 minutes, you show the yellow card or the amber light. And 2 minutes, you show the red card. With 30 seconds grace period after 2 minutes. So there's always a 30 seconds grace that you must give the speaker when for the table topics. So table topics is 1 to 2 minutes. Below 1 minute, you are not eligible to be voted for. So you must speak for a minute. And you must know when you start showing them the card. Some Toastmasters, they can have something like a traffic light that they'll be showing the green. So when it's 1 minute, green, 1 minute, 30 minutes, yellow, amber light, you show them. Red, that's 2 minutes with the grace of 30 seconds. Speeches like icebreaker, the standard is 4 to 6 minutes. Most speeches are 5 to 7 minutes, unless otherwise noted. All speeches have 30 seconds grace period. All speeches has 30 seconds grace period. And when it comes to evaluation, 2 minute minimum with 3 minute maximum with 30 seconds grace. Please, I notice timers don't time evaluators. It is not only prepared speakers that you will always time. You must time the evaluators also. It is very important, all right? The agenda too, when you notice the Toastmaster of the day is beating around the bush, it's very important for you to signify, to let the Toastmaster know that time is of essence, all right? And it's also when they are giving a report, the grammarian report, they have 2 minutes. The hard counter has a 1 minute to 2 minutes, 30 seconds too. So also you must time them while they are giving their reports so that they keep to time. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, time is very important and the role of a timekeeper is important. Let me add this. The timer also double as vote counter. Is the timekeeper that is meant to coordinate that voting session, to get the list of speakers, because you already have those people that are qualified and that they are not eligible to vote for. You have their list. So when you are compiling, you are also playing the role of vote counter. Most times we don't see timer to do that. It's another person who just stand up, pick. So it is very important to note and establish here for you to be able to play your role as a pro. It's very important to bear in mind that you double as a vote counter also. Why? Because you have the record of those to be voted for and not to be voted for. So ladies and gentlemen, it is very important the timekeeper pays attention to timing and sit in a strategic position, know the time duration for each speakers, evaluate the evaluation session, the agenda with Toastmasters, let such person know when they are exceeding time or they are wasting much time. When the grammarian, the accountant, when they are giving their reports, ensure you time them accordingly. Let's talk about the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster of the day is double as the master or event compere of the day to conduct the meeting in an energetic, timely, and professional manner. The role of a Toastmaster is just like a TV or radio presenter. No matter the heartbreak or breakfast or any problem you face at home, when you get to that lectern, you must be happy, you must laugh, because your disposition is what we radiate within that meeting venue that people will now respond back to it. You can't go or say you want to be the Toastmaster of the day and you are not energetic and you are not happy, you are not smiling. Like I always say, smiling is a universal language, all right? So you must be energetic, you must smile, you must be happy, you must be able to lift the spirit of the member. It's also your responsibility to get introductions as the Toastmaster of the day. It's very important to get the introduction of the speakers before the meeting. Make sure the speaker introduction includes their name, some bio, their speech title, the objective, and the time. So, Ibrahim Fatoyinbo, you introduce him. Tell us about him briefly. And I always say this to speakers. When you go and present or you are presenting any speech at any Toastmaster gathering as a speaker, it's important you write your bio that will sell you, because it's a platform for people to know more about you. And when people know much about you, they perceive you as an authority while presenting that speech. Why do you introduce someone? You are introducing someone so that to prepare the mind and consciousness of the audience for them to know that this person that is speaking to them is a professional. When you hear their bow, you anticipate to say, oh, wow, I would love to hear from this person, all right? So the Toastmaster of the day must always capture the introduction of the speakers. Tie any theme of the meeting to the introductory remark and recognize guests. Please, the Toastmaster of the day must speak in line with the theme of the day. Every Toastmaster meeting, there is always a theme of the day, and you must build your conversation around that theme. Be consistent about it. You don't have that right or the prerogative to just move around, just to throw. Yes, you can talk about creativity. Who says you can't be creative with the theme of the day? That's why you must work before the meeting. You must know the theme that is the president is speaking on. You must be aware of it so that you'll be able to prepare your introductory or your opening remarks in line with the theme. And also, it's very important to also identify guests. Oh, I identify. So at the point, maybe when somebody is talking or we have 5 minutes break, you can just move around to see the guests. Oh, are you a new guest here? Are you so person? Get their names. When you go back to the lectern, you can say, okay, please, before we move further, let's just do this. Just briefly. It's not to waste time. We must be very conscious of time. You can engage the guests. Yes, some of you can say, okay, but at the end of the meeting, we are still going to introduce, if you are a new member, if you are coming for the first time, stand up. But while the activity is going, when you just recognize them, there is a sense of, like they're part of you. They connect more with you. So that's another thing. So be sure to occupy the podium until the next speaker. So as the Toastmaster of the day, please, you don't leave the lectern when you invite somebody. You must stay there. You should never leave the lectern empty. You must exchange pleasantry, handshake, and you leave the podium for that person. If that person is not there, you don't leave. Check people when they do MC, they will just call so person. Even if it's the president, you stand there, let the person, if it's to bow before leaving, you do that, but you don't leave the lectern empty, all right? And another thing is that the Toastmaster of the day, even if you invite anybody, be the first person to clap. Be the a round of applause for this person, and you start the clapping, and they all join. So, because don't forget, the Toastmaster of the day is the life of the party, right? So it's very important you play that role religiously. Let's talk about the grammarian because time is fast spent. Grammarian, here, to introduce new words to members, to comment on the use of English during the meeting, and to provide examples of good grammar and word usage. Our goal as a Toastmaster is to continuously expand our vocabulary and strengthen our use of language in our speeches. Before the meeting, choose the word of the day. It should be a word that will help members increase their vocabulary and that can be easily incorporated into everyday conversation. Because you are the grammarian and you love English, that doesn't mean you should go and bring a very big word that speakers won't be able to incorporate into their speeches. And also, let me quickly mention this as the table topics master. You encourage them to also make use of the word of the day, all right? So my point here is that as grammarian, you choose a word that you know that, well, knowing is relative, all right? But at least you should know that at least when you choose a particular word, because I could remember some of these words like awesome sauce, convivial, we have some wonderful words. That's some choice of word of the day that I can't forget. And the intention is to build our vocabulary, right? So post the word of the day in a large font where everyone can see it before the meeting begins, giving the part of speech, noun, verb, etc., and brief definition. Prepare a sentence to illustrate how the word can be used. You may also provide copies. So what we are saying here is that the word of the day must be written boldly or projected on the screen. at no point should that word of the day be taken away from the screen. Or if you are writing, it is permanent there. If you are using a whiteboard, you must give us the if it's noun, if it's verb, you must tell us, you must give a definition, you must give us an example. For the benefit of any guest present, give a brief explanation of the duties of the grammarian when called upon by a Toastmaster. You must explain your role. Let them know that you are here to listen attentively. You want to know those people that will make use of the word of the day and incorporate the word of the day into their speeches, starting from the table topics to the prepared speeches and to the evaluators. You must establish that. All right. And most times it is also expedient. You layers, and that's why we are talking about meeting before the meeting, that you should tell the Toastmaster to always remind members to use the word of the day. All right. So in a nutshell, you find a word of the day. It is situated in a strategic place that members and guests can be able to see it. Let them know your role. And when you are coming back to give your report, please don't say, Mr. Ibrahim, you said you come instead of you came. You know, you should say someone said something, because it's not everybody that has that, how will I say, that has that the ability to absorb certain, when you call their name. Some people can feel, they feel embarrassed, but you can just tell them that the usage is wrong. This is a better way to go about it. And it's not necessary for you to start turning the meeting to English class because you have 1 to 2 minutes. Be concise. And that's why if you have any other thing, you can tell them that, okay, even after the meeting on the WhatsApp platform, you can even continue the words of, say, okay, some people use also thing, it's meant to be like this, to continue and to save time. But I've seen people want to express their grammar, display the dexterity, start coaching, doing is, you must be concise and you must stay in between the time allotted for you. All right. So I think that's for the grammarian. Another evaluator, as evaluator of speeches, to provide a verbal evaluation of a speech during the meeting, you are also responsible for providing a written evaluation. Most times I don't see this. After we evaluate, it's gone. Sometimes you see people, I think our attendance rule Toastmasters years back, and DTM teller Odua. If she 1 page, like foolscap sheet, like, I'm not saying that's just an exaggeration, but at least she noted some things that she handed over to me, and I said, okay, I can't see everything here, but see me after the meeting. I think I can relay any other things to you. All right. And always evaluate in line with the objective of the speaker. I've seen people evaluate what's it called? The icebreaker, and they'll be talking about gesture, facial expression, body language. You want to kill the person? Is just read the objective and you evaluate in line with the objective of that speech, not the way you see it. And because when you just give a cumbersome evaluation for icebreaker, person will just say, I'm finished. Like, they've killed me. Because don't forget, that icebreaker is something that you are just here, cold feet, your first week talking to people, and you are getting such evaluation, you just run away. That's why so many members will just tell you, they won't tell you the reason they didn't come back. Let's be careful when evaluate. So when you evaluate, you should, let me add this, say, you are also responsible for providing a written evaluation to the speaker. Should be the speaker come prepared with an evaluation form? Yes, there's always an evaluation form. Your goal is to help the member become more confident and effective in speaking. When evaluating, you have 2 to 3 minutes. Frame your verbal comment into a sandwich. What went well? That's a positive. Evaluate them. Tell them what went well. Oh, you've done this. You don't evaluate by attacking people. You don't evaluate that, say, no, that's why we use the CRC. That's what we call it, sandwich evaluation. What went well, the positive aspect. What could be done differently to make the speech effective? Improvement area. What also went well. So you start the CRC, commend, recommend, and comment. And you should also fill the form for the speaker. Conclusively, please, evaluation is not about you coming to attack. Always evaluate in line with the objective of that speech. Let's talk about the speaker, and that's the last one. The speaker is also a role. We are always getting it twisted, believing the counter, the grammarian, the table topics. As a speaker, you are also playing a role. So you are expected to prepare your speech and present a speech during a Toastmasters meeting.
Usman,
Prepare
please
a
mute
written
your
introduction.
mic.
You are
Mute
expected.
your mic, Usman. Usman, mute your mic. You are. Please mute your mic. You are disturbing us. Thank you. Thank you.
Toastmaster Ibrahim, you're muted. Can you unmute? Toastmaster Ibrahim, you're muted.
Okay, thank you. So, speaker is another role, because that day you are performing a role, like you are presenting a speech. It's a role, right? So a speaker, you must prepare your introduction ahead. Let them know the title of your speech, right? Something personal about yourself. Arrive early and make sure you are comfortable with the setup of the room and the technology or props you plan to use. Before the meeting, speak to your assigned evaluator about the objectives. We don't do this. You must engage your evaluator. On that day, that's when you now put face to say, okay, it's Mr. Ibrahim, who is he? Okay, that's the person. You must liaise. And I always advise, as a speaker, you must liaise with your evaluator to tell your evaluator areas you want to improve. That, okay, please, I want you to watch out for me in area of my grammar, watch out for me in line with the objective, but these are other things I really want you to do for me. That is how evaluation is being done. It's not, so you watch out for that, and that's why you must work together with the evaluator. So bring your evaluation form to the meeting and give it to your evaluator at this time, all right? So before you shake the hands of the Toastmaster after your speech, it's always very important to, you don't just leave the lectern, you hand over the lectern back to the Toastmaster of the day. So in a nutshell, as a speaker, prepare your introduction, liaise with your evaluator, let your evaluator know areas that you want improvement on. And after the speech, you can liaise and you can discuss tete-a-tete. Ladies and gentlemen, because of time, I'll just quickly say that we have the listening evaluator. Listening evaluator can also double as a grammarian. Listening evaluator basically is just to test the listening prowess of members and listen to some of the quotable codes, choice of words that was used, and just ask them gradually, all right? So what you have to do there as a listening evaluator is just for you to listen attentively, get fantastic words, phrases, and you bring it back, all right? And don't waste much time about it. It's not every time you can have. If you don't have, say that, oh, I didn't get this. But definitely you always get at every Toastmasters, because there are speeches that are well prepared for. You will always get that. So ladies and gentlemen, distinguished Toastmasters and guests, I've successfully explained various roles at Toastmasters meeting, from the counter, general evaluator, table topics master, timer, Toastmasters of the day, the grammarian, listening evaluator, speaker, and evaluator. I would like to entertain questions at this lecture. So thank you.
Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Ibrahim Fatoyinbo. That was amazing. It is very, 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 very amazing and well detailed. And on behalf of myself and every Toastmasters, I want to say a very big thank you to you, because I know that most of us here would have been able to get a lot of things from your training, your message tonight. Not one or two things, but a lot of things, because I being a Toastmaster that has been on break for a long time, I get to understand and remember so many things from your training, and I'm sure a lot of us too have been able to take some things from what you've discussed tonight. So, if there is any question, I would want us to show our hands, use the raise hand option, so we can Is there anyone that have any question? Okay. If there's no question, I'd like to ask question to everybody. Interesting, they are following. Toastmasters, do we have any question? Or
I do
I
have a
ask my
question.
question?
I raised my hand.
Okay, Toastmaster Godwin, over to you. You can ask your question.
All right. Thank you for the enlightening session, Toastmaster Ibrahim Fatoyinbo. All right. So my question is, say in a situation where somebody's supposed to play a role. Yeah, I've had this scenario quite a good number of times where somebody's slated to play a particular role, and if the meeting is starting at 10 and at 10 we still don't have all the role players on ground, what will you advise to be done?
Well, in all honesty, we have to improve more on that, because if you have signified to say you want to play a role, yes, there are unforeseen circumstances, but the question I will always ask is, if you are told to come and get 1 billion naira by 8 o'clock, what excuses will you give? All right. We must be time conscious, and that is one of the major issues that we are facing as African. We talk about African time. When you signify to say you want to play a role, you should know that you must be at the meeting before this time, and there's going to be a meeting. All right. So, but in such situation, definitely we are going to improvise as leaders. And so far we are improvising. Anyone that we are even beckoning on, they must have had the experience of playing the role before. So it's going to be more easy, easier for you to be able to say that, okay, come and play the timekeeper for. And let me say this, and that's why that's one of the weaknesses I always say about the pathway. When we started Toastmasters Club, with the old manual, when you play the role of a timer, your leadership manual too, that you must record it there, and there are certain things that you will get. So when you know that there's something attached to it, that you are not just playing the role of a timer, you are playing it just for you to aim your leadership role, is something that it will help you. But I will just conclude by saying that, yes, we will improvise, we'll try to brief the person, and that's the role of the general evaluator and Toastmaster of the day. Come together, get one person, brief, and you still discuss. We have seen situation that is past 10 that we are going to be getting role players. And we have seen situation where one person will double up playing the grammarian and the timekeeper. So a lot of challenges, but still the rules are rules, and we just have to adhere to it for us to be able to perform our role diligently and effectively. So there are issues that they are not peculiar to only maybe Ikeja Toastmasters, but Toastmasters Meeting generally, they face such thing. So we just have to improvise. And for this kind of training, anyone that has joined this training and subsequently playing roles, they are acquainted with what they're expected to do. So when you just call on them, they should be able to fit in, my opinion. So that's the best way I think I can address that. Just Pastor Gordon.
Thank you for answering the question.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Fatoyinbo and Toastmaster Godwin. Do we still have any other question? Any question, one or two, can still entertain one or two questions before we.
Yes, I'm raising my hand.
All right, Toastmaster Abiola.
Okay. Yes, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, man.
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster Fatoyinbo, my wonderful mentor. Thank you for the thank you for the training. It's very informative, and I've really learned a lot. But I noticed that you didn't talk about the dressing, the appropriate dressing for Toastmasters meetings. Because sometimes we see some people dress with slippers or sandals or what. Is there a particular way that Toastmaster expects members to dress while coming for the meeting? That's number one. Then the second one is that you have just touched on it just now. But is it good? Is it right for one person to, take about two rows at a meeting, maybe because we didn't see enough members to take up roles? Is it acceptable? Is it okay? Thank you so much once again.
All right, ma. Thank you, Toastmaster Adwala. Well, to be honest with you, Toastmaster is a very unique club. And I'll start from the Toastmaster of the day. The dressing code, there's no specific code, to be honest with you, when it comes to Toastmasters. Because we have some Toastmasters club that are corporate club. Like, for example, Eagles, maybe a weekend club. But if you are the Toastmaster of the day, you are the icon of that meeting. It's important for you to dress well. And one thing I tell people, even when I run training, is that when you dress well, it doubles your confidence level. You feel yourself better. So to Toastmaster of the day, you dress well. If you're a role player, it's also important for you to dress well. If you are presenting a speech that warrants you to say, okay, you want to just be comfortable with your dressing and be conscious of whatever you're wearing. That's the most important thing. But to say that in this climate that we should be wearing suit, but decent dressing is just very important. If you want to wear native properly. If you want to wear English, wear it properly. All right. So that's just the thing that I can say. But to say we have a specific dress code, no. But we just have to, but it's important. It's very important for you to dress well. Why? Because don't forget, we always have a 5-minute break for you to network. And one of the essence of Toastmasters is to network with people. And don't forget, Nigerians or Africans, even in the world, your dressing matters. When you dress so gorgeously, that's the first point of conversation. I love this. And you start talking and you extend pleasure. You must be intentional when you come to Toastmaster meeting. Don't just come that I'm just here coming to see Toastmaster Adola. I'm coming here to see to. No, we have guests that will just come in and you don't know how you sell yourself. So it is just beyond you just saying you want to be a public speaker. You must network. And that is why we have 5 minutes. It's not just a break. It's a moment for you to network with people. The school my daughter attend is from just a network session and one of my mentees. So you extend presence. So the way you dress matters. So you must be intentional about your visit or you're going to meeting. It's very important because Saturday is close to Sunday. Maybe you don't want to wear your church wear. But my dear, the prayer you want to go and render there, that network session can just help you just perfect it on Sunday already, right? So it's very important you do that. So just multitasking, there's nothing we can do to that because it's something that we face. And that's why we should not just be a Toastmaster to say it's just communication. Leadership is important. Everybody talks about the country. The problem of Nigeria is leadership. And listen to this. Leaders are chosen from the followers. When we have bad followers, that means we are going to have bad leaders. And we say Toastmaster where leaders are being trained, but we don't keep to time. You know you won't be available for timer. You said you want to be the timer. You won't be. These things are just simple things like if you won't be available, don't take roles. And if you know you'll be available, ensure you resume early. But people just do things anyhow, and it's wrong. So I'll just have to plead that we should be more conscious if truly we want to be that leader that will be celebrated. But multitasking, yes, it's something that is still there and there's nothing we can do. So ethically or anything, it's not written anywhere that you can't multitask, but the meeting must go on and we must achieve success. That's all. So the dressing, there's no specific one. We'll be intentional about it. Multitasking is allowed just for the success of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So,
I have a question, or I have two questions. So.
All right, please.
we have any
To play a role well. I become so like I'm not even
I
having
didn't get
fun.
that. There was a network issues. I can't get it from the beginning. You can take it again.
Okay. So my question is that how can you hear me clearly?
Yes, better now.
And, okay, how can one have fun while playing a role efficiently? Like how can you just free yourself and enjoy the role beyond just being very serious, like, oh, I want to play the show. How can one have fun while playing a role? That's the first question. And the second question, you talked about the speaker too, and you said the speaker is also a role player. So, like for virtual meetings now, is it compulsory can the speaker just sit comfortably the way you are sitting and deliver a speech? Is it okay to do that for a virtual meeting? Or does one have to stand up, talk about the gesticulate, just like we do at physical meetings for the speaker?
Well, let me be honest with you. It depends on the objective of your speech that will determine maybe you are sitting or you are standing. Some people get their confidence level more when they are standing. I don't like deliver speeches while sitting, maybe because I'm a teacher anyway, but I like to stand because it makes you to be more expressive. Yes, some people can say, okay, why will you say that they can't sit down if you now maybe it's UN so thing? Yes, there's a way you present your speech. Even you can use your hand, you can use your facial expression. But like I said, the objective of your speech will determine if you are sitting or you are standing. All right. But most time it depends. For virtual, it's not every time you say you want to stand up to say you want to, because I don't want to limit your speech presentation to Toastmaster. Maybe you're at work and you're having a meeting and you want to give an update about something and you want to do a presentation. You can sit down and know that you want to make use of your hand. It's not that you are putting your hands, you are not making use of the screen well. Do you get? So I think that's the best way I can answer that. So it's not necessary. It's not like it's compulsory for you to sit down, or I should say that you must stand up. Like I said, the objective of your speech will determine if the objective of your speech talks to you about gesticulating or what you have written warrants you to say you want to do more of body language. Definitely, you have to stand up and know how you place your camera to capture you deliver such speeches, right? So, what's having fun playing role is for you to understand the kind of role and how creative you are. When you know the theme of the day and you just want to be creative about it, I've seen people, they are master of words. When they come around, okay, the theme of the day, you research. And that's why you don't come and play a role that you don't research. You must read up about the role, you must understand. And that's why there's a mentor and mentee relationship. If you are playing the role for the first time, liaise with your mentor. This is the first time I'm playing this role. What do you think? You don't just give role to anybody. And that's why we're having a lot of lapses. Oh, you can do it, just timer, just carry the card, just be showing it. No, it's more than that. And that's why they are going to miss out the place of evaluating the evaluators, evaluating the report grammarian and all. So it's part, and let me just say this to mentors. Role playing, this kind of training is what you should be having with your mentees too. So that by the time when they start taking up roles, they will perform well. And I always tell people, when you join Toastmasters, the first thing you do is not just to say you want to do icebreaker. Start playing roles. When you play 1, 2, 3 roles, you are gaining your confidence because you are speaking in front of people already. You are giving a report, and from there, you are getting your confidence. By the time you want to do your icebreaker, boom, you are there, right? So fun is left for you in terms of your creativity. If you want to be the grammarian, what's the word of the day? How do you want to do it? It's just you. It depends on you, but there should not be excessiveness. All right, and you work within the time frame so that I will not waste time. Most time, Toastmaster of the day are those people that waste time. Talk, go back this one. You have to be precise. 1 minute, say this, just move so that we'll be able to finish on time. because the timer is also a determinant. Because that's another issue that we're always facing. We will never conclude meeting as at that time. So people can't even plan. If you know that the meeting starts by 10, let's start by 10. No 1 minute, no 2 minutes. If the role players and anything, let's move on. And we get used to such thing and we adjust. It's a lot of problem. So it's left to your creativity. You can sit down, you can do, it's left to you. My opinion, everything I'm saying now, that's the standard or anything. I'm just saying it based on my own understanding as regards to speak presentation and my own experience. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you most graciously, Toastmaster Ibrahim. Yeah, I think we can't entertain any more questions because I think this session is supposed to be between 8 to 9 p.m.
Is it my end? Yes, I see we've lost Toastmaster Shukura.
Yes, can hear her again.
Okay.
So the moderator should go through the chat to see whether there are questions there.
All right. Thank you very
Some people
much.
drop questions there. Yes.
Okay. I think that all of the questions has been covered. Toastmaster Clarence asked if Toastmaster Ibrahim touched on the listening evaluator, and I think that he already did. So thank you very much, Toastmaster Ibrahim, for a power-packed 1 hour. Thank you for teaching us how it's done. And we are looking forward to members of the Ikeja Toastmasters Club performing better when they are taking up roles. And yes, this meeting is recorded. So if you need to reference anything that was said, please feel free to do so. Once it is uploaded, we will share the link with everybody. Again, we want to say thank you. It was a full. We had about over 26 people on the call at one point, and that is fantastic for a weekday. Thank you very much, and we are looking forward to seeing us physically on Saturday. Please let's come early by 10 a.m. as the first club meeting of the year. A very big thank you to Toastmaster Shukura for comparing this, and a big thank you to Toastmaster Amina, the Vice President Education, for making this happen. Yes, we are still in need of some role players. Please be free to pick up roles. Thank you for celebrating me. Let me use this medium to say a very big thank you to everybody for adding color to my day. I would still personally respond to all of your messages. Thank you so much. And on this note, I say have a lovely night rest. Good night, everyone.